Hello, hello. Running a little bit behind. I apologize. Make sure my. I don't know if you all can hear me. Can you hear me well? And I am out doing Amazon. I just have like 5 more drop offs to do. I tried to finish, but I wasn't able to, unfortunately. Um, what's up,
Hi.
G?
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Out getting
Good.
some streaming.
You're in the dark.
Yeah, I know. I'm out doing Amazon. I was able to
Oh
do
yeah.
this. So, and the sun isn't up yet.
And it's funny because when we're on, you watch. We can actually see the sun come up when you start to get lighter.
Yeah, so we are early getting it. I appreciate y'all coming on with me at the crack of dawn.
Yeah. I used to have to take my oldest down to Daytona for school. We would watch the sunrise come up. It was so beautiful. It was really pretty.
Yeah, I like watching it like when I'm right now I'm in Topanga, so like going like from Topanga towards Malibu and Santa Monica. It's beautiful. This like
I
that's
bet.
the best views that you can see in LA is go
Yeah.
like, towards Topanga and then go through like Canyon Drive and you will see the best views of LA. Like you gotta do it like around this time, 6 o'clock to like sunrise. It is beautiful. It's amazing. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
bet. I've always felt like I belong in California because of the mountains and the beach together. Because I love the water. So,
It is
um,
like no other. It is. I just seen a post the other day, yesterday maybe. It was talking about the best rides and views of California
mhm.
and which places and places to go to see the best landscape. So I actually took a screenshot as well. So yeah, I'll send it to you just in case you ever come out.
Yeah, I would love to.
Some sites and stuff. Oh, what's up, Electric Lady? What's up, Nick? Say her hometown is LA. That's dope. Yeah, let me know what should I do here. It's been an interesting place. I don't know how long I'm be here because it is expensive talking about King of Diamonds week, right? Oh gosh.
I couldn't imagine. I know I'm in Florida, so it's bad here. I can only imagine what it is there because it's always been more expensive there.
Mm.
But yeah, and the King of Diamonds energy, they'll make it work. They'll make it happen. That is for sure. But it definitely I think can tax your resources um, if you don't have the skill set like to live out there is probably well I guess the cost of living is or the wages are more than right.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, they are. It's look like I got darker. How did that happen? Can you not see me at
I
all?
can't see you at all.
That's crazy. Hold on. Maybe my camera.
There was like flashes of light. I don't know what you were doing, but
Yeah, I don't know.
flashes of light that came on. Now it's all dark.
Like completely. It's like you talk about the dark side of the King of Diamonds. Yeah, definitely has a dark side. But what was you saying? I'm sorry.
About like just the cost of living out there, you know, and then I feel like there's probably more pay. I would think, you know.
Yeah. I think and kind of keeping in the conversation as far as the King of Diamonds. This is the land of kings, like people who have established themselves. Like if you have a talent, skill, I think that's where you can dominate and find your niche because people will pay for whatever they want. If that
Mm,
makes so, yeah,
mm,
pay is can be better depending on what you're doing, what field you're in. The average pay is higher than probably it is anywhere else. But yeah, there's definitely opportunity. I think here if you can have a niche or if you have a skill, it's one of those places that people don't mind dishing out money for what they like, taste. values, and that's what the King of Diamonds is, right? So it is a two of diamonds stake, and even looking at the kings, and I was like, what's important to like the kings? You know, what's important? Like, what cards are most important? I was looking at a few different videos, and it was saying a few different cards. You know, like four, fives, eights. But also, I was looking at the six, and then the two as well when it comes to like the king, and seeing how that's kind of important to them as far as like partnerships, groups, and working. You know, so.
And their Mars is the two of diamonds. So King of Diamonds, you know, when they're, you know, they put that passion, you know, working collaborative deals. California could be a really good place, you know, because of that energy if it's used right, you know, because that Mars, twos and Mars, I think, can go both ways.
Gotta stay neutral, man. Gotta stay neutral. Don't pick a side on that too. That's straight up crazy town right there.
It is. I have a two of Hearts and Mars. Trust me.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. Are we friends?
It's that intensity that. I remember we were talking about yesterday about the Mars and Gemini and how the words, and that makes so much sense with the twos and why my mouth always gets me in trouble.
Yeah, and poor Rashad being sensitive, and we're just like laughing at him. Sorry, Rashad.
Laughing at me? What you mean?
Like when you're on the side of the road and you're telling us, and we both start laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we're laughing at this person when he's stuck on the side of a highway. I'm sorry, Rashad.
I guess the only reason I can laugh is I've been there so many times.
No, yeah, it's all good. It was definitely something I needed to laugh at.
It's stressful. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess laughing is a better way than any other way. So
It's how I do everything. I have to laugh at it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, why couldn't we sleep last night? What's happening? Why was I wide awake for so long?
I think the moon being in Pisces building to the full moon in Aries, because I struggle with sleep usually during the full moon and sometimes the new moon cycle.
Yeah.
Probably some parasites. That's what I believe it is. Most of it.
Parasites? Oh no.
A rabbit hole for another day. But
what's the card of parasites? But go ahead.
I have no idea. That would be interesting to see, though.
That's interesting. I was just saying, like the King of Diamonds. I don't know why I thought about this, but cleansing, like getting a deep cleanse. I was like, some people are like, it's just something about the King of Diamonds and truth, right? And like the gut, you know. And health, because I think the King of Diamonds is of course around finance, opulence, with the Queen of Diamonds and business oriented, but also like looking at like the physician, because it needs a second opinion. You know, like the physician always needs a second opinion. So those were like certain things I was thinking of. The physician led me to also, you know, cleaning out yourself in the Seven of Spades of going through that internal transformation. You know.
Yep.
And your gut health and standing in your truth. Like when you're not truthful, you're not feeling good inside, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not clear and not knowing what you want, like having that clarity come through, right? If you have no clarity, you have no honesty of what you really want and being clean inside. So yeah, speaking of like worms and parasites,
Listen, go down that rabbit hole. You'll be jacked up. Like, and you'll look at, that's why farmers dewormed their stock, their livestock during moon cycles, because parasites actually come out to feed during the moon cycles.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll open you'll be, listen, I went down the parasite rabbit hole like years ago. I was drinking some crazy cabbage juice. It was called Waterfalls, and that's all I'm gonna say. It was so bad.
And this goes into,
I'm gonna just do the master cleanse with the lemon water cayenne pepper. That's worked for me before. I'll just stay there.
It was rough. But it's a real thing though. Like really go research parasites because it'll blow your mind. And it's they really are, I think, probably the base of most of the diseases and stuff, and the you can see the correlation with it. But anyways, where we, listen, the sevens, they are so connected to, and it's not just, I thought it was just the seven of hearts, where, you know, the stomach issues and like, you know, because I've experienced it myself, but I think that seven is all the sevens can get you all, you know, up in here. And I think it's because of the intensity of the swings that they can have and the, you know, high highs, low lows. And, you know, and I've been more mindful, like when I'm eating, where am I emotionally, you know, because I'm more in tune now. And so it's like, okay, I'll feel this later if I'm upset and I'm eating.
This temporary fix is at a cost.
Yeah. So, but as a King of Diamonds, do you, because you have the Seven of Spades as your supporting karma card, do you have any kind of like, I know this might be too personal, but digestive stuff or, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like what Rashad was singing was so true. Like if I'm not able to articulate my truth and be heard for my truth, shit's going in my mouth.
Sorry, I was reading the comments.
I'm eating, you know what I mean? Like if I'm not able to stand and keep flowing from that clarity, I have to compromise or shift or bend. I'm like, or I'm like eating or drinking or smoking. Like I'm doing something to try to like keep myself there. But when I'm able to flow from that like straight spot and keep it clear and true, like I'll say even since I lived here, I think I've lost 12, 13 pounds because I'm in a different environment and I'm starting it differently. Do you know what I mean? Like me and Sugar continue to have this like very long breakup. But I mean, there's definitely a way that emotions and eating, plus I'm a Cancer moon. I mean, come on, emotionally, please.
Yeah.
And it was what was given. I mean, I'll never forget being pregnant at my dad's house. I'm like 17 years old, maybe 18 years old. And him just not knowing what to do. But boy, would he bring home like 3 or 4 boxes of Evinger's bakery stuff every other day. And I'd just be like eating that, sitting home. So like that was kind of the way that we were soothed. Like, okay, kids, we'll go have ice cream. Or okay, we'll go have, you know, like, so Sugar was like introduced as like a soother.
Yeah, that's interesting because my niece is a King of Diamonds and my brother is a chef. And so it's all, I mean, I remember when we went and spent the weekend with them this year, back in February. And I'm like, the bowl of ice cream this kid made with it wasn't this thing was like a mass. I was like, and she did everything to the extreme though, you know? And so, and she's 15 now. And so it's interesting though, but that's my, you know, for us, even like in my home, everything was around food, you know. Luckily for me, I did not get like I don't know, I eat definitely much better than I used to for sure. But I've never been like emotionally connected to food. Maybe I just like to eat, like, and I like good food. Like I spent 20 something years in the restaurant industry. I've been privy to a lot of good food. I can't do subpar food.
Well, I think you're a heart too, and you're talking about the Seven of Hearts. It just doesn't pertain to them, but also the Seven of Diamonds. You got to think about the Seven of Diamonds connection to the Queen of Hearts. You know.
Yeah.
What's that? What's the Seven of Diamonds connection to the Queen of Hearts?
The Queen of Hearts transforms into the Seven of Diamonds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of times they can have like food issues.
They indulge to the extreme, you know.
And they have that.
Parasites is a 4 of diamonds. Nice, Nick.
He said what?
And without the
S, is a 4 of diamonds.
Keep reading. Without the S, it's a Jack of Hearts. Parasite.
I can't read. I'm on my phone. I couldn't get it onto my computer.
Sacrifice, right? Oh gosh. Sacrifice.
But think about that. I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go crazy deep dive. But like 4 of diamonds is that ancestral stuff. It's that ancient things, right? It's our attachment to that stuff. It makes so much sense that parasites would be that, right? And how it gets so stuck and held so crazy, like glue.
And they feed off of sugar. Actually, that is like their. That's why sugar.
I'm so not having fun today.
Let me come
Like,
in.
whatever, okay? Like, I'm tired. I didn't sleep. Like, you want to see me cry? Fine.
Tell me I can't have sugar.
Like, I came on here for my therapy session. We had Venus last week. Now we're talking the King of Diamonds.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's hilarious. But it's true though. They do. It's like a thing. Like I'm telling you, I went down a very big parasite wormhole years ago, and I became like, even my kids were like, "What is wrong with you?"
But
Like
because the four diamonds a lot of times can be a physician as well, or the doctor, because it has the King of Spades, and
mm-hmm.
you know.
I had King of Spades yesterday. No wonder I was up. My daily card was King of Spades yesterday, so I guess me and I have some work to do. In my dreams last night, when I couldn't sleep, it was like, you must get these things out. I'm like, what things? Do what? Like, I was having like a really crazy night last night. Like, I don't even know. I don't even want to try to explain it yet because I'm still haven't woken up. But so I think you guys are right on psychic point, intuitive line, reminding me like, so have you done that detox that you've been saying you were going to do? Because I think it might be hitting you in the face like a 2x4.
Your parasites are active.
As the parasites are like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. Mike, you don't know. Christ.
Well, so, you know, when you detox, you have what they call like a die-off, or there's a big term for it. It's like hexing or something. I can't pronounce the word, but it's where you have you get sick. You have a lot of the headaches.
Well, I'm afraid of all of the sickness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
You know, I can help you with this. All you have to do is open up your drainage, open up your pathways, and you need to take some probably activated charcoal because it absorbs. And that's why they say, I'm telling you, I'm a whole wealth of knowledge. You do it do it with the moon, because that is when they come out.
So I gotta
it's the same thing as like
charcoal.
It's the same thing as like killing a flea cycle. You know, you have to start with the adults, and then you have to kill the eggs, because don't forget they lay eggs, so those come back around too. Oh yeah, I'll rock your whole world.
Make me hate my belly. I just want to rub it.
But you have to kill the cycle, and there's ways to support the die-off, and it's through like what they call binders, sweating, like saunas, and doing any kind of lymphatic drainage will help. It help with the symptoms a lot better. That's why most people stop with their detox, is because of the feels, you know, the shit that happens.
And all the stuff you have to do, and then when all that comes in, it's like you want to like keep going.
Yeah.
You know, like I really
it's like
don't.
It's like coming off drugs, honestly.
It is. My mother, I said to her today, I said, oh, well, you know, she goes, not for nothing, Madeline, but you've been talking about this stuff with sugar for 20 years. Where's your will? I was like, all right, not for you. She's a jack of clubs. You know, she keeps it real. I was like... Yeah. So there you go. Well, that sounds like a good impetus. I pray that my resisting brat self doesn't like override it with some like motivation of why I have to do it later and not now, because it really is a now thing. My whole body just doesn't want to continue. You know, it's not just food parasites. It's all the thoughts and the narratives that go with those things, right? It's like just wanting to shed all these stories of rejection, inadequacy. Was it right? Was it wrong? I don't freaking care. I just want to be free. I just want to be liberated. I just want to be clear enough so that I can move forward and not wonder if I'm like selling crazy.
That's crazy as well, because the King of Diamonds is a very psychic card as well, and intuitive, talking about like. But earlier, writing notes about the King of Diamonds, you have the 4 clubs in Venus, you know, so clarity and getting clarity, and relationships with women, and like getting to a point where you don't careness and living on your truth, you know, also comes with the 7s and self-hexing and other people's opinions. We were talking about the 7s last week and the Ace of Spades, and why they sometimes have an issue with the self, and then taking on the opinions of other people, you know, but trying to find that middle ground, because you want the opinions, you want to be able to take critique and have self-development. But think about an ace, it's like, yeah, but this is how I'm gonna do it. Like, this is like true to me. And but so it's like trying to find that balance, you know. So especially for the King of Diamonds at 4 clubs and Venus, right? It's very important. And then you have the 7 of spades supporting you, right? So the rejection and the betrayal or whatever it may be, or the projection of other people and what they think. And but opposite of the 7 is the ace as well. So it's always like a hard balance of trying to find your personal truth and truth of other people, and not letting that people project onto you, you know. um so yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking earlier. Like, where do they find their truth at? That's what I was saying earlier, and find that courage to say, I don't care. Like, that's the diamonds. They find clarity in who they are. Like, to a certain point, I think diamonds is like, it doesn't matter to me. I was watching Ian Dunlap, and he was talking about the diamonds create matter, and then I was also thinking on a personal point, some stuff doesn't matter to diamonds. I think that's where they find their sometimes people get in the rough, or it's like it doesn't matter to them. You know, that's not what they're creating. That's not their reality. That's not their. It's not important to them because they're so focused and fine tuning on what it is that they're creating. You know, so
that's where I want to put my passion. That's exactly what I was up last night in the moon, like screaming and singing and saying, listen, I got a life force that needs to be on course, and there's some habits that gotta go. And I need to let go of the piece that was coming up for me last night was this air of rejection from the other, or the not being okay. Like, that's gotta go. And I feel like when I was feeling like pregnant in high school, living in Brooklyn away from all my friends, eating freaking donuts and Epingers. I mean, not to say it wasn't the most delicious stuff I've ever tasted in my life, because I did. But it was definitely not putting me on course like a horse for alignment to assignment. It was like, numb that girl because she's going down, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to be numbed anymore.
Oh my God. Well, and it's, you know, I think with the King of Diamonds, you know, that might be something that they have to maybe pay attention to, is, you know, their connection to addiction, even just because of, I think, even that 4 energy, you know, that more importantly, probably that Jack of Spades and Jupiter, you know, because so that Jack of Spades and Jupiter, or just the Jack of Spades in general, can be a card of, you know, escapism, you know. And I think even eating gives a sense, or when you're indulging like that, it can give a sense of escapism, you know. And
it's like living in the royal house but not following the rules and the integrity because you're the Jack of Spades.
Mm-hmm. No, and you know, the connection with just not wanting to, I think they you know, because they're such a shapeshifter energy, they can be attracted to things that, you know, aren't, you know, the good and bad. Like, they want to experiment too, you know. I think they have a strong sense of wanting to experiment and wanting to take
it's like
things,
that teenager stuff where you think you're invincible, you're the
yes,
king, you're the jock.
yes.
It's that same crap, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, not that I'm enjoying this, not that my stomach isn't like making like feelings when I'm talking. I don't want anyone to think I'm at ease in this conversation at all. But I'm just being a professional. But yeah, it's very interesting. And I mean, I have done it, and I know it, and I have felt it, and there's just
there
such
you
a
are.
call for liberation. Oh, hi, Rashad. Good morning. Did the sun just
That
come
I
up
can
so the
join
light
you.
was in the car?
No, it was in the back. I think it was because I switched off to a different page. So I just was flipping back and forth. Something, I don't know, something internal. Um, but what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I was just crying. Keep going. Discipline. I mean, it's the motivation of freedom. That's where I'm really using. I'm like, wait a minute, this is freedom or prison, Madeline? Are you going to stay in prison or are you going to be free? That's what came last night when I was like sitting in the moon. It's like, here's your choice, honey. Do you want to be in prison or do you want to be free? And I'm like, wow, it's so funny how you think being able to do what you want is freedom, but that's not freedom. Freedom is knowing what you need and giving yourself what you need to grow the seed to be who you're here to be. Indulgence is not freedom.
Yeah, someone I was just listening to something the other day. It's one of my favorite songs. He was saying, people think that I have freedom because I get to do what I want, but I gain freedom from my discipline. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
discipline allowed me to have freedom and allowed me to do what I want. And I wouldn't be able to be free without my discipline. So yeah, that's, and also just listening at this, like Saturn and Neptune. Nick was talking about astrology. Knowing astrology helped me with that. Yeah, and that also, like the sixes, the six of clubs, six of spades, you know, and seeing where they are, and seeing what Neptune does in how does Saturn react in Neptune, you know, and that escapism is also in the sevens as well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the addictions and all that lies there, and the emotions, you know, and they can get lost in the emotions. We're talking about the emotional swings of things, right? Getting
Mm-hmm.
lost in emotions, caring too much what people think about you or what people say, you know, because people are important for sevens and Libras, you know. They are important. People opinions are important. You do want their opinions, you do want to work with people, you do want to create relationships, but having to have that balance of self and not caring, you know, is also important. That's the other
The
side.
fine line.
Yeah,
It's a
and
fine
not
line.
getting caught and because when you come to people and working relationships on a grander scale, on a universal scale, you're out in the public, you know, with working with people, giving advice, helping people in some type of way. So taking all of those little details and being able to show, like, okay, and guide other people and help other people, and like that one-on-one type of setting in nature. But yeah, the indulgence lies in those sevens, into the Neptunes, the Queen of Hearts transforming into the Seven of Diamonds. You know, you can see how all of those numbers and perspectives relate within the personalities and people as well, and the energy, because you can see it, like in, like we talk, and while we here is King of Diamonds week, so these things can come up, but also in your personal weekly, or whatever it may be, you see these cards coming up, you're gonna be like, okay, I may want to indulge, or it's gonna be something about people and relationships, or this conflict, you know. That's why sometimes I think that they say the sevens have conflicts, and it can be some
Mm-hmm.
of the harder cards within the week, and the self-hexing, because it's a negative. Sometimes it's like the opposite
Mm-hmm.
of positive and negative, and not supposed to be a negative, but you know, there's oppositions in the world, competition, you know, working with people, competition is good sometimes, you know, and partnerships is good, you know, so you can't get out of that duality at any point of time.
And I think they need strong sense of optimism from others, because even my friend, the Seven of Diamonds, earlier this week, I talked to her, and she, I even had to remind her. I was like, stop thinking the worst, because what happened when you thought the worst the last time? Literally, everything you didn't want to have happen happened. She's like, you're right. I was like, you gotta get out of that mindset that it's gonna. And she is a seven. When she's on the high, it's a beautiful thing. But they do. I think they need that almost like that, because even for me, I was telling Groisha yesterday, I had the Seven of Clubs in Pluto last week when I was coming up with, doing the course, and that voice inside was like, no one's gonna do it. And I had to talk myself out of that. And actually it was going to the cards to confirm, no, wait a minute, look at this. It aligns. So instantly I was like, oh no, we're not gonna, that's gotta go, and it hasn't come back. So that's the beautiful thing. And that's where you can really use, the energy to see that it's actually working in your favor, and it's you who will tell it it's not working.
Yeah, you personally can be the opposition, or you plan on yourself, and
Exactly.
you're thinking, you know, the self-hexing,
Because
especially
the sevens are the inside out, and
yeah.
like you said, the self-hexing, you're just going to speak it.
Guys, this is not helping. All right. So I'm going to go. All right, because I got a 7 of diamonds here. All right, so I'm gonna just like go and see if somebody's gonna say something nice to me while I'm trying to remind myself that I'm not like a wasted life because I didn't use my discipline to grow my truth. So, but nice talking to you. Appreciate the time.
You're doing great.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I
That's,
believe you. Yeah, thanks. I could tell.
the 7 will throw a mirror in your face. It's always a mirror. That's where the full circle is like. Is it me or is it you? Or is it just a mirror? Maybe it's not you. It's just a mirror. It's me.
Oh no, it's me. I was up. I was woken for a long time. But I mean, I think it's all really inspiring. It's just not necessarily registering right now because, I want to go have my coffee or my sugar.
Where's Aries in your chart?
My moon.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Top of that, your Mars.
What house?
Diamonds.
My Aries moon is in. Well, let's see. I can look. And where's my phone?
Because that's where you're having this release. That's where all this is coming from. So
where it's coming from is the Aries moon.
But in the house and it's a full moon in Aries. And remember, you talked a lot about how the nodes switching,
really affected me so much.
Yeah. So I would look at that axis of Aries and Libra and see that's where a lot of things are probably hitting you. And you can see it in the cards too, if you look, looking at your spread. Mm-hmm. But it would help to have all of that so you can kind of really pull it together, because that is where you're probably feeling it. Remember, because the full, it's illuminating something.
I'm gonna look. Hold on.
Yeah, it's illuminating something.
That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like something illuminated. I was like, what is trying to, like, this is the loudest wake up I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I could not quiet it with no cookie, coffee, and smoke, nothing. I was like, no, you're gonna sit with this one, honey. And I was like, what? I gotta go to bed.
Yep.
So I'm finding my chart. It's here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited today, so that's just the way it is.
And it's a 9 of Hearts day too. So there is this. It's
perfect. Of course it is. It's in the 4th house. Surprise.
There you go.
4th and 5th. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're at the home, the family, the structure, the feeling secure, feeling safe.
Being good.
It's
okay. While I'm the mean witch, it's like, get the hell away from me.
But it's also a 9 of Hearts day with the Pisces moon. That's just, you're probably gonna, the crying is natural. There's a release coming, because that's it. And see, this is what's so dope about being aware of all this, because you're actually aligned with the energy. So
I can tell you that from doing this with all you guys for all these years, like, I have really come to understand that me and the energies are walking tight. Like, I am living the life of it. Like, before I even knew what was happening, you look at my journals, I was like, boy, that was this day, and I was doing this. That makes a lot of sense. The moon has been running me for a long time.
Mm-hmm. We're all I think people don't realize how connected you are to the moon energy. It moves every 2.5 days. So that's why we, one day we're happy, one day we're crying.
Yeah. And I have like 8 sessions today and start in 10 minutes. So
oh wow,
it'd be a real easy day to cry and not eat. Sounds like I'm lined up for a good one.
Yeah.
But I'll make it fun, and I'm gonna take heed, because I really love the idea of being free. I want to look at it like that discipline is freedom. I'm thinking of a tattoo. Like, I'm like, so like, this has to be the change, because I know my life has to change in a significant way. And it's not that I don't have discipline and rituals. The girl sweeps and make sure everything's clean. Like, I got lots of good rituals, but the discipline to say that I'm not able to trust my truth unless my gut is clear. And I want to trust me, because if I'm going to put myself out there and be whatever the Groisha doll is, I want to know that I can be trusted. Not that you can trust me, that I can trust me.
No, I understand that. I go, I have a hard time with following my intuition. I was just talking to Nick the other day. I think that's another part of, like, of being a genius as far as like business and smart as far as making decisions in life is knowing and going with your intuition, going with the vision that you see or going with that feeling, that gut feeling. And it's hard to do that if you don't trust yourself. It's hard to be the best you can be or the best in business if you can't trust that your gut.
Yeah, you got to do what you say you're going to do. So if I say I'm not going to do this and then I'm doing it, whether you know or not, I know I did it. So it don't matter if you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's and again, the King of Diamonds is one of those cards that has intuition. It's one of those, you run into that card, you're gonna meet someone that's gonna want to tell you your fortune, and it's a fortune teller card. So without that clarity internally, I was reading someone. I was on Clubhouse. Someone was like, "Yeah, I don't believe that someone can really read you if they can't tell you about themselves." But I don't know. There was a guy. They called him Red from Alabama. He was saying that he can't read himself or his wife because they're so connected. So it's not saying that you're not going to be able to, if you're a fortune teller or psychic, they all can see the future. But I think we all get hunches, and he's able to even read other people based upon his gut feeling and his hunch. And
But y'all read me great today. I really appreciate it. I feel well read. But I have to go because I have at 10 o'clock. And so,
no,
but thank you very much. I enjoy our rapport and the safety to explore what it is that's going to help me be the next best. So I'll talk to you both really soon. And I didn't get to look at all the chats because I'm on my phone and I can't even see them. But I
no,
will.
I asked about the trans Pluto earlier, but this is it, so that's why I kind of hesitated, because it's all of these is times 10 on a major scale of marking things we need to know about and bring true within inside ourselves. That's whenever you're sitting in that transport position. But yeah, thank you all. I have to run to.
Yeah. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.
Bye, guys. Take care.
All right, talk to y'all later. I go through the quick. I have 3 more minutes. Phone is like going off from my group chat, but we appreciate you. I go through these comments to see if there's any things that we didn't point at. The seven hearts is sitting Jupiter this week. And Nick, you talking about the United States spread, I assume. So, of course, we did talk about the cards a little bit. You seven hearts. So you feel like that. Of course, you are with the knowledge, Miss Nana Clubs and Mercury. Yes, Gina is. That's what I was thinking as well. She has to give that knowledge, right? That is, we're all playing on our cards here, right? In some type of way. So we're actually all connected. King of Diamonds is my cosmic lesson. Gina is my Saturn. So that is the things I need to become disciplined on and focus into, find structure and not be so sacrificial, but sending my truth there as well, right? Especially the infrared, where you can change the color of the light, because each light does different things to the body. Yes, you mentioned it, Gina. My details again smoother. That's dope. Light and herbs, the type of jar you actually have the herbs in, the color of jar you have your herbs in, plays a huge difference as well, not just physically on your body, but also to your food. It has, of course, if you look at light, it burns like food, right? So it probably changes the structure of the light and how it relates or contacts with the herbs, and it unlocks and unleashes certain things. So have played around with that, and it showed the huge difference in the cleanse that I had. I've done a 30-day fast and a 40-day 45, was it 45 or 44 days, 40-day fast was my first fast. And then my second fast after 2 years, I did my first one was a 30-day. So I haven't replicated that as of yet, but I do want to do that again, a 40-day fast, which was just on Dr. Sebi herbs, milk thistle, burdock, burdock root, sarsaparilla, and there is another one that I'm leaving out that's pretty potent as well. It was also internal cleanse, and I went and got my. Before you do a cleanse, make sure you go to the doctor, get your blood type and all of those things, get your allergen test and all those things, seeing like on what you're depleted on as far as your minerals before you even do a fast as well, to make sure, because you're going to deplete yourself. So you want to make sure you add the right herbs to make sure you make up and make sure you don't deplete yourself, because it can be very draining and you will see effect. The best effect that I had was 45 days before my birthday, which is it's kind of, I do a little cleanse. I haven't replicated that, but I do a small cleanse, like a fruit for a week or something like that, which I've been pretty good. I can't do potatoes because I'm semi-allergic, but I had fries yesterday. Don't judge me, please. So yeah, so light and herbs, that was my first experiment in my 40-day fast, and I seen a probably a reaction in like a parasites, and I wouldn't say it was like parasites. I didn't get it tested, but but I did see a cleanse in me physically. I also seen scars heal up as well, which is I think the seven of spades is how I look at it: the rebirth, the death and rebirth, right? So I have to go, so I can't read through all of these. So we appreciate y'all. I'm gonna come back and maybe we can answer these next week as well. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Wow. All right, I'll talk to y'all later because I really do have to go. All right, appreciate it.